to use a clue.
Recording in progress. Nazmul is able to speak. Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. I don't know. Good evening.
Yeah, good
Depending where you
evening.
live. Yeah.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good
Good afternoon
evening.
from
Good
Brazil.
evening.
Good evening. Good afternoon from Brazil. Good evening from Poland. Good evening from Nepal.
Good
It's midnight in
evening.
Nepal. And Anita was asking me about the topic for today. Do you have some gas in your mind, Anita? No? Any gas in your mind?
I'm thinking about, to continue the previous one, but I'm not sure, maybe
Okay.
you have something in your sleeve,
Yeah, I'm a kind of magic, okay? Gompo, what do you think about? Gompo?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Hello.
what's your guess about the topic for today? Do you have something in mind? Okay, let me think. Think. No, nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, it's okay. Sunil, what do you got in mind? Sunil got frozen. Sunil got frozen.
Oh,
He's out of mind.
Yeah, he's out of his mind. Yeah, Sunil, did you lose your mind? Did you lose your mind? What do you think about the topic for today? What's your guess, please?
Well, I want to ask a question. Like, I don't know if that question is right or wrong, but like, we all know that there are two kind of vocabulary we have. Like, one
We
is
go with the
active
flow.
vocabulary.
In other words, you go
Which-
with the flow, okay?
Yeah.
Jordi,
One is
please.
active vocabulary.
Jordi, please. What's your guess? Or what do you get in mind?
I'm not sure if it is a good idea, but in my opinion, it's quite well to speak about traditions, people behavior in our countries, and we can improve our vocabulary using this speaking around these topics, and also I think it's we can get know each other well like this. Yeah.
Self-introductions is not needed anymore. Okay, but before you go further, okay, let me tell you something. It all depends on people you are talking with. Level, including level, If I talk to Anita, we can speak 2 hours or more. We have this together, yeah. It will be different with Sunil, for example. It will be different with Jordan and Nazmul, okay? For me, every topic is welcome, okay? So, George, based on this, let's go about your points, please. You can suggest something to discuss right now. The previous one, we can continue, and after finish, we can go about other, okay?
I think we should continue the previous one.
Which one is previous? When we talked about our level experience, our learning experience. Yeah,
it's called English journey. Okay, let's continue. Okay, George, let's go.
Okay. What else I can say about it? When I started learning English, I was almost a kid, and it was a quite traditional approach, just sitting around the table and learning new words, some grammar rules, and that was quite boring. But at the beginning, we considered it as it normal. But after that time, I had a huge gap, like maybe 10 or 12 years. I did not learn anything in English because there was different kind of problems, and I was almost adult, and I was working or doing something else. But maybe last 2 years, my level was too low, like maybe A1 or something like that. And I was very bad. My communication skills was very poor. And I decided to improve it because I understood that I realized that I had a job interview, and after that I realized that my English is very poor. So I started. At first, I tried British Council, not British Council, but it's British Center. I don't know if it is available in your countries, but it's called like British Center, where the Callan method, if you heard about it, when teachers, there are books for every season or every level, and teacher says some sentences, and you should repeat with them. And at the beginning, I found it quite useful, but time after time, this learning became into some routine, and I realized that I cannot move on the different level if I continue learning in that way. And after that, I tried British Council. It's also quite famous almost in every countries, and I had my classes maybe 1 year, and it also helped me to improve my speaking skills. But time after time, I also saw that I'm standing on one place, because it was quite good learning technique. They were teaching us new words like grammar rules, but I realized that it's impossible to stick all this information in your head just by listening or attending on the classes. I need something more real communication, like to sit like this, like we're sitting today, and having communication, because I don't know how it works for different people, but for me, these classes and listening and hearing these kind of different words is not very effective. Maybe it's helpful until maybe 6 months or 7 months, because it's new for me, and it gives me more inspiration or motivation. But after 6 and 7 months, I'm losing my motivation, and I cannot go go farther. And so I always need something new, new technique, like dynamic, more just rather than having this standard, I don't know, boring lessons. So that's my experience the last 2 years.
Okay, you can see, George, how this topic is huge. Okay, no limits to discuss. And by the morning, I had a talk with Maria from Czech Republic. We aborted exactly this point, guys. Please, Maria.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, I'm trying to use my husband's headphones to sound more clearly. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Share with us your experience, because they didn't know about you so far. Yeah. You are new. Okay, Maria, welcome to this fantastic group. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. About what experience with English, you mean?
About this English journey, okay? We need to continue this topic because it's huge, okay? Everybody has their own experiences to share. And then we can learn from others, right? From each other, let us say.
Okay. So in my case, 3 months ago, I had a goal, what I wanted to do with my English. And if you know, there are some language coaches, so they can help you to create your goal. And this goal should be counting. You can feel it, you can count, you can understand that you achieve your goal. So in my case, it was, if I remember correctly, it was 6,000 words. We choose some website to know how many words I know, and it was 6 English speaking friends to talk with them every day. And since that period, since that I decided to find some people to practice to talk English, to use it every day, because before, for 2 years, I was learning another language, Czech language, because I moved to the Czech Republic and I needed. So I learned a lot this language, and I had a big problem with code switching in my head. So turn off Czech language and turn on speak and think in English. It was my big problem 3 months ago. And few weeks ago, I understood that I achieved my goal and I'm a winner, I'm a champion for me. And I need another one to go forward, to go straight. And I decided to change, to make a new one. So I have it on this piece of paper like this to see it every day. So since the day I realized what I really want, so my goal, why I want to learn English, why I want to practice, I met beautiful people from all the world, like Anita, Tony, and you guys, and the doors start opening, and I start practice. And another wise person said me that first thing should be influence, like talking, and another one, like the second position, is correctness, because before I have some philosophy that I should be perfect, and I learned grammar, I learned rules, a lot of exercises to practice, to be better, to be perfect. But if you can see and you can hear me, I still make some mistakes, but I love them. And for me, it isn't problem anymore, because I know that I can learn from my mistakes. So correctness on the second position for me. The first one is influence, is just talking, and to be understandable, to understand you guys from different countries, so different accents, to understand it, not just the main point, but all of words what you wanted to say me. So I think it is better than to say words in the right positions with the right pronunciation. Sometimes we have mistakes, but it is not problem. So make your mistakes, love your mistakes, continue your practice.
Learn your mistakes. Don't worry about mistakes, okay? And guys, I have something quite important to say right now. Great speakers, they don't speak miles, or million words at a time, you know? They are more concerned and on be understood, okay? No worry about producing lots of words, you know, instead of being understood, okay? For me, it's quite important to be understood, first of all. Okay, I put something in our chat, okay? Could you read it, please, for us, Anita? The first one, please.
Okay.
Let's go. Huge topic, guys.
Yeah, okay. The first one is, there is only one way to learn how to speak English, and that is to open your mouth and speak English. Very useful. The only way you will ever get better at speaking is by speaking, and speaking a lot. Can I add something?
Okay.
I agree with that. If you want to speak, to talk, then it's absolutely, crucial to speak. But I think that in my case, I thought first that I must take first as a lot of input, you know, I mean, listening and reading, because, you know, just to gain first a lot of vocabulary and the way the native speakers, you know, formulate sentences and then start talking. And I think it works, it still works. But of course, sometimes we experience a little bit shyness, and we are not enough confidence to express, you know. And then it's very important just to start, you know. For me, it was always a great problem. Even now, every meeting, I'm very stressed, you know. Sometimes because of you people, because to be, you know, to be maybe understandable and you know, and to make a good sentence. But I think that making mistakes is also a lesson, you know. So I try not to be worried about my mistakes, but it's hard for me, you know, because I'm a kind of perfectionist and I'd like to, you know, to do things without any problems, you know, so it's impossible to do. So I'm still have to get used to this. Make mistake, don't worry about it, and go on.
Yeah, well said, Anita. I have several points to discuss today. We start 2, remember, and then we can go until 5. Midnight to Gompo. Where is Gompo? Oh my gosh, we lost Gompo.
He had left. He had left for some reason.
We lost Gompo. Okay, Nazmul, let's go the second one, please. Nazmul, you are mute.
He's
I think
frozen.
connection lost.
Connection lost, yeah.
Yeah, may I read it?
Today we lost Gompo and Nazmul. Nazmul, you can't hear, yeah. Okay, let's go, Sunil, please, you. The second one.
Yeah,
The
is
second
it
part,
okay
the
now?
biggest cause. Okay, let's go, Sunil. After that, we go over you, Nazmul. Please, Sunil, unmute yourself. Sunil?
Okay. So the biggest cause of communication breakdowns when two non-native speakers communicate in English is mispronounced or misunderstood phenomenon. That is, problems on the segmental level cause more problems than grammar, vocabulary, or any of other possible pitfalls when English is used by non-native speakers.
Your points, please.
Well, if I'm going to talk about my learning experience, like I have just started practicing speaking a year ago, like when the pandemic got worse and the lockdown was announced in my country. So like 2020 March. So I have started practicing, but after a month of practice, I noticed one thing, that if just I'm gonna like learn new words, read books and everything, I'm not gonna get that much developed in my English as long as I'm not listening to people and as long as I'm not practicing with different people, because every person has their own way to express themselves, and English is a kind of language which is being spoken by, I think, everyone nowadays. Then I started finding friends, and fortunately I got some like you all and like few others as well. And then I started practicing more and more. And as I moved further in my practice, I understood one thing, like Tony said before, it is not important that how bigger your vocabulary is. The important thing is that when you are speaking something, the other person is able to understand you or that person isn't able to understand you. As long as you are understood by persons, a different person, you are speaking currently. And the same thing with me as well. Like if I'll be able to understand others, and other people will understand me. For me, if as long as I'm fulfilling these two aspects of a language, I think I'm speaking quite good. And on that basis, I have been consistently practicing, and I think I have developed myself a little bit. So, and yeah, that's all.
Okay. I have nice topic today, guys.
Tony,
And Maria,
may I say something? May I say something?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
After that, I can say.
Yeah,
Okay?
very briefly, you know, because it is a very interesting subject, you know, Sunil just mentioned, and he just read about, you know, pronunciation of different people, you know, because we came from various countries, so we have as a natives very different pronunciation, and sometimes, you know, and I think that sometimes I have some problems with understanding people from I don't know, maybe from Asian region, you know, because in Europe we have very similar kind of pronunciation. So I think that we can understand each other quite well. Okay, for example, Maria or you know, people from Europe. But if someone is, you know, from, for example, from Asia or America, you know, so I have some problem. Maybe because of the pronunciation, you know, and I think that I don't think so that we have to be concentrating on, for example, exactly British or American pronunciation. I think that better to be, you know, like a neutral speaker, you know. I don't think so, if you agree or not with me, guys, because neutral language, which is used, for example, in Euronews or all international news, you know, it's more understandable for everyone.
Anita,
that's my idea.
Okay, I agree with you. We will end up being both of them, you know, because we started both. Okay, for me, if it's good American, because I can pronounce easily American for me, but the accents doesn't matter the accent. Okay. Okay, Sunil.
Look, like we are like most of the participants here, like they are more into American English, but I think like nowadays there are more non-native speakers than native speakers. So it would be better if we try to understand everyone instead of just focus at an American person or a British person. And even though like the time will come, which I guess will come, that when even the native speaker will change their way of speaking, will change their way of understanding.
Absolutely. To
the point, Sunil, to the point.
Sunil,
yeah.
There are more non-native speakers speaking English than native ones. Yeah, you are totally right. Right now, because Brazil is a huge country, we are starting to speak English, okay, fluently.
Like
India is
like
big. Now imagine Russia. Now imagine Russia, Brazil, Africa. You know, something like, you know, enormous countries speaking English.
Yeah, like I was reading an article about this. Like there are around 360 million native speakers, but as compared to that, there are around 1.4 billion non-native speakers. So from now you can see the difference between the native and non-native.
So we are in a majority,
Guys, let's put a heart for Sunil, okay? Well said, Sunil. Let's put a heart for Sunil, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Put your hearts for Sunil, guys.
Nice.
Reactions, please.
Maria.
Maria, I got amazed about you today because by the morning we have a long talks, 56 minutes and 42, I don't remember. And I could see your levels higher, okay? Higher.
Well, and like few hours ago, I was talking to a native speaker. She's from America. Like her name is Ginny, and she was teaching me like few lessons about grammar, like different kind of tense and parts of speech and everything. So I asked her, and she told me this, that whatever I just said, like I'm not saying that. She added, and she is like, she was completely agreeing with me that the day will come when native speaker will change their way to be understood by non-native speakers. So it is a very good thing for us that we would better focus on
A
our
big
own
deal.
accent.
You mean
Yeah,
a
we
big
should
deal
develop.
for us.
Sunil, may I ask one question? Okay,
Obviously.
when I was listening this accent from Asia, at first I told you that it was quite hard for me to understand this accent, and then I watched a lot these YouTube videos, and now it's okay for me. But there was interviews in India that. People and this journalist asked Indian people in the street about the Indian accent, that they told them, they asked them that, what do you think? People sometimes say that Indian accent is hard to understand for for the rest of the part.
Most
it
of the
depends
time.
on the person, I think, you know. It depends on the person.
And this, like you are saying now, that these people from India was quite confident, you know, and they answered, they replied that they should learn from us, and not we should learn from them.
Well,
yes. Your politics is also same. When I'm listening to you, I can capture the same idea.
Can I let me tell you something about India? Okay, like nowadays, like in India, like usually people go to school at the age of 3 or 4 or 5. Okay, so even though a kid is going to school at the age of 5, from the age of 5, they study English. Whatever they read, any kind of book, they start from English. And when that 5-year kid will turn to like the age of 18 or 20, by that time they will speak English like a pretty much a native speaker. And in India, there is a like environment, I would say, like even though you are a college student, even though you are a school student, it doesn't matter. Whatever you read, you have to read in English. You can use your like own like native language, because in India there are different states, different language, different culture. So it is hard to connect all of them. That's why English is very much famous in India, and people always want to learn, because it is also connecting with the entire world. But in our own country, it is connecting the different cultures. Because like for an example, I can speak. Yes.
Can I ask something? Because I want to ask you, how many languages there are in India, you know?
2,000 dialects, 2,000 dialects, at least,
dialects.
and the language is Hindi, yeah?
Officially there are 22, but non-officially there are more than 2,000. People have different languages. And even though I normally speak around 3 languages, except English in my own country. I can speak Hindi, I can speak a little bit of like Odia, and I can speak a little bit of like the Tamil language as well. Because I usually like go to different place for my study purposes. So I have to learn their languages as well, little bit. So if I'm going to say I'm learning
to each other or not, or they are differs from each other.
They are completely different from each other.
But can you demonstrate a little bit? I'd like to listen, like, you know, what is Hindi sound, you know? How is Hindi sounds?
Like, let me tell you,
okay, like a gun machine, like a gun machine. I know. I have idea, like a gun machine.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna say, like, I love to have this kind of talk. So I'm gonna tell that sentence in Hindi. Okay. So it would be like, मुझे इस तरह के like meetings में बात करना बहुत पसंद है. इससे मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. Like, forget that meeting word, but rest of the sentence are is different from English. I think, I guess you haven't understood anything from it. So like that's how, like every single language is different from the Hindi. Like Odia is different from Hindi. Telugu is different from Hindi. Marathi is different from Hindi. So there are many more languages in India. So that's why we need a common language which will connect the entire country. And that's how English became one of the like major language in India as well. And right now there are around 125 million people are speaking English in India as their third languages or second languages. And which is the
Do you share language with Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or maybe Pakistan? Do you have something in common, anything in common? Maybe like you can understand to each other.
No. Like we don't have anything in common. That's why we use English as our common language. It is a kind of bridge for both of us to connect. So yeah, that's why like India is, I think, more passionate about English and English speakers. And that's why that people replied that way, that they should learn from us. We should not.
Okay, Sunil, let Maria and Nazmul say something, please. You raised the hand, please.
So first fact that in India there are more than 2,000 languages. Just imagine in one country they couldn't find one language. So what do you think? What do they can do with English if they bring their culture and influence it to the English? We will not understand anything after. So we learn English today, but if every culture, as I said before, so from just 2,000 languages from one country will affect to English, we will not understand each other like Indian people in India don't understand each other from one corner to other. I don't think that we have to follow accent from Great Britain or from America, but I think that we have to contain our own culture's effect to English. For example, in some cultures we use, like Indian people use, they can say you like sister, for example, hey sis or hey brother, something like that. In my culture, we don't use something like that, but we have three kinds of you. You for group of people, you just for normal people, and you with big Y, like big U for very respect person. But in normal English, we don't use it. We just use normal you. No difference between I respect you more and I respect you less. So we have just normal you. I think it's perfect. I think that nowadays English is perfect because it's made by a lot of cultures, by a lot of people from, for example, American, a lot of cultures there, and they create this language. Yes, we can correct it, but I think that we as a learner, me as a learner, we should control this effect from our culture to English, to do not change this language at all, to be still understandable for other partners. So if everyone will change language, it will be still another language, and we will lost this perfect, unique and world language as English is today. Thank you.
Okay, Nazmul.
Yeah, I just said the answer of Anita and George. That's in Bangladesh. Here is only one language, that is Bangla, and here has no expert in English. I never ever seen anyone here. I don't know about English medium school, what's they're going on. However, in general. For example, in my case, I just only read and write for my graduate, from my graduate. When I was in graduate students, from that time, I am used to for English, for write and written. However, I have no any types of presentation. I have no any specific subject to learn English. So we have no available as a pronunciation teacher or pronunciation expert, or how to write it, how to pronounce a word. So from that, just I found a word, and it's pronounced just I imagine it's this types of pronounce for this word. That times I utter it. For that reason, from these countries, people who are learning wishly how to accent this word or these lines. I wanted to be a native speaker, or I wanted to be a British speaker. That times they just wish as their self. That times they use or they make a good pronunciation in Bangladesh. For that reason, most of the people out of the Bangladesh, they don't understand how they speak, how they talk, and what's their English skill. In my cases, in my country, I think so. And another obstacle, biggest obstacle is when I go out here and there, or these types, when I break out these types of room that most of the times or speaks in English, and after that I use again Bangla in all times, However, my office language is English. That's only for reading or written. Okay, for that reason, we have a little bit knowledge about in English. I think so.
It's okay. We are almost finishing. Okay, Sunil, would you like to respond then for the second part? Okay.
Well, I want to show something. It will take just a second. Like, look, this was a book which I was reading for my tomorrow's exam. Okay, and it has everything in like English, every single line, every single page, and everything. So like, this is a thing. Like, if someone is reading, if someone is writing, if someone is speaking a little bit the same language since the age of 5, so they will definitely develop their own accent, their own way to express themselves in that language. And like as Nazmul said, like he don't have that much idea about like the English medium and that everything. Like in their country, as much as I know, like English is not that much used by the university, by the colleges. I think that is the case, Nazmul. Like,
okay, Sunil.
Yes.
hello,
Yes.
Break
Nazmul?
5,
Yes.
okay? Just a moment. Break 5, okay?
Yeah.
We are back in
Okay,
5
okay.
minutes, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Time
Okay.
enough. We don't have time enough, okay? 5 minutes, we are back. Same
Okay.
link, okay? Same link.
See you.